It's very interesting to see progression of tools and how they shift focus. And today I want to talk about a tool called PostgresML. I did a video on it about some time back. This was probably 30th September, so maybe 6 months, or actually more than that, 7, 8 months before. And this is the look of the UI called a tool called PostgresML. And what they were into is building AI applications on a very familiar database, which is Postgres. Now, if you see their website now, they have completely changed it, and it calls the platform for production RAG apps. And RAG is, as we all know, for large language models, stands for Retrieval-Augmented Generations. If you're not familiar with it, I'll put a link to one of my videos of the topic. But basically what RAG does is, if you want to query a large language model and you want to add context, you would want to bring your own data to get the context, and that saving or the storage and whatever entails further conversation, which is indexing, filtering, ranking, okay, there it is, embeddings, etc., so that information can be augmented with the question and then sent to LLM, so that when you get an output or an answer to the query, it's very, very contextualized and personalized to your use case. So that's what these guys have transformed them into. It's very interesting that a company is trying to move towards genai, and genai is kind of picking up a lot of pace. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna talk about today. We'll just do absolute from scratch. $100 credit is what I got. I'll show how and all of that. So stay tuned in the video. If you're new to my channel, I talk about tech, software architecture, large language models, pretty much sharing my experience. I do this for passion. So subscribe, comment if you're interested in topics. Let's dive in. So I got a mail from these guys where they were offering some kind of $100 free credit. And it's very, very straightforward. You just get $100 in free credit when you utilized. I haven't yet done it. So I just clicked on the link, and this is where you go. This is where you end up. I'm just gonna move the image here, and you select your use cases basically. So RAG is, as we just talked, retrieval augmented generation, chatbot as well. We all know what a chatbot is. Search is search, and forecasting is predicting something that's going to happen. Like you have a weather data and you want to predict how the weather would be next. You have cost data, you have price data, tons of different use cases. So we do next, and then it's asking up for goals. I would want to just say get started with AI, or just select all of them. I don't know how they're going to select. Now this is a very interesting question. They want to understand the stack. So I'm primarily playing around with LangChain, Hugging Face, and Llama Index, and that's what is the top. Obviously OpenAI also. A little bit of Pinecone would not be ignored as well. And your current role is, well, I'm an architect. I like that word better. Okay, just select something. Alright. So now they have completely revamped the UI, and you can change a lot of stuff in here. Let's go and move the settings here. You can create a new engine. Right now it says engine type is serverless. You can change it to dedicated, and in dedicated you'll be able to select a lot of stuff, and it will show you estimated billing. But it's better to stick to serverless models because it will give you a cost advantage. So we'll just stick to serverless. It requires some sort of a payment method addition, which is credit card. I'm not going to do right now. And what it includes out of the box is different models. There's an int float model, there's a mixed breed model, there's an Alibaba NLP. There's different kind of models like embedding models, instruct models, summarization models, and the idea is that you can choose and select any of these models to apply some sort of use case. For example, Microsoft has a very popular model called Phi3, which is a small language model. Then you have Meta Llama, which is 8 billion parameters, and then you also have Meta, which is 70 billion parameters. So it's good instruction tuned models, and for summarization sticking to Pegasus. Now then it's talking about pricing and all of that stuff. It's very interesting how pricing for these kind of capabilities are shaping up, because previously we were used to being billed for CPU, RAM, which is the computing infrastructure, or storage for that matter, and then if you are having serverless, some sort of an IOPS and things like that. Now what's happening is there's a shift happening, and with OpenAI trying to bill per token, there's all sorts of permutation combinations coming. So there's tables and index storage, which is still very standard, goes by GB per hour, so like 0.25 per GB per month, like okay, 25% of a dollar, which is like very less money. I would think in INR it's like 20 rupees per month, nothing literally. Retrieval filtering 7.5 per hour, which is costly. However, I would assume that this goes really, per second wise or the execution. So the total time of retrieval, filtering, ranking and other queries for an hour could be significantly higher. It's unlikely that you'll do that many hits. Embeddings, LLMs, fine tuning, everything else is included with queries. So now this makes it very interesting. So this is a interesting way to price it as far as I would look at it. And then you can add more models, and they have Albert available. I don't know why they do not have more models. Maybe they'll add it in the future. Alright, so that's how the whole home UI looks. So we will just create an engine. Okay, why is it not allowing me to create? Okay, it will really want a credit card, so I'm not gonna give it my credit card right now. Alright, let's go to my previously created, and then so this is an engine which I created previously, which just has persisted fortunately. And in home I was going to get a new engine, but I'll just use this one. And as you can see, when you create an engine, it gives you some parameters, like for example, it will show you connectivity parameters, it will show you matrix, it will show you activity and all of that. There's literally no activity right now, so it's not gonna show me anything. This is running in GCP and running in Iowa. And then you can actually go and look inside the engine, different parameters. It's gonna keep bugging me to add my credit card, which I'm gonna not do right now, but I'll show you what capabilities it has. Then you can add notebooks here, and notebooks are as standard as a Jupyter notebook. You must be familiar with it if you're still in this video. So yeah, these are just simple Jupyter notebooks, and what this tool does is gives you the capability to just bring all of the database, infrastructure, notebooks, everything together in a single place. So that's cool. So you can create tables, you can insert into tables, and then you can start doing some operations on it. Like for instance, let's see if there's a forecasting use case. Okay, insert, order, chargeback, conversation. Okay, so yeah, now what it's trying to do is building some sort of a structured training data, and this is where I wanted to get to. So it's basically using some existing data from your tables and then going and creating it out as a training data. So you can just connect to the database and make it a training data. You can also do the splits required. You then have options to do projects, where you can do different projects, and projects are just use cases. You can have models. There's a lot of different models right now. I mean, this is from my previous test, where it literally has all the models under the SkyKit umbrella. You can take snapshots of setups. I just took snapshots of models from previous this is literally from the previous YouTube video. You can just watch that, and then you can upload more data. Again, it's not going to allow me to do these operations because of the limitation around pricing. Alright, so that's what this setup does. And essentially what I found is that this tool is pretty straight and easy to use. Though I have not used it for any of my personal use cases, but I intend to now, since they have moved into RAG and the pricing is low and they are offering $100 query, so I'm just gonna tap that out. So yeah, very interesting capability, and I suggest you guys try it out. Put in comments if you have liked it. What other tools are you using to have this kind of systems within your ecosystem? So yeah, that's Akash from Cafe.io talking about PostgresML. Until next video, bye bye.